All right, okay. Mr. Long, Bobby Long, here with another flip lesson. And today we are obviously going to talk about indirect object pronouns. So we got Star Wars character, okay, for the new Star Wars, Force Awakens, the latest one. And then we have Katniss from Hunger Games. So let's get into it. First, I want to talk about subject pronouns. We know these. Yo is I, tú is you, él and ella and usted means he, she, or you, respectfully. Nosotros, we, ellos, ellas, ustedes, they, masculine and feminine, you all. Okay? Now, something to keep in mind. These are subject pronouns. Why? Because they're whatever doing the action of the verb. For example, I am, okay? I am handsome. I know a lot about that, but that's beside the point. But I am. The verb is to be. So I am. So that's doing the action. That's the subject, okay? You are intelligent. Tú eres. Tú. These are subjects. But what we're going to talk about are object pronouns. Specifically, indirect object pronouns. So let us, again, as always, should write this down. If you need to stop it after I speak, and you need to pause it and write it down, that's fine. So, next one I want to get into. Here we go. Indirect object pronouns. And what we're doing is we're replacing, okay? Specifically when we get to lay and lace. So, may means me. Te means you. Lay means him or her. Nos means us. And lace means them, feminine or masculine. Now, when we get to lace, we're talking about these. This is where you specifically and you really see the replacing of a pronoun. Instead of me saying, I give the book to John. I talk on the phone to John. I talk to him. I give the book to him. Okay, so we're replacing. Now, and they indirectly receive the action of the verb, which I'm going to get into. And you've seen these. Me aborre la clase. The class bores me. So obviously you see it's a little backwards for Spanish compared to what we're used to in English. Nos interesan los deportes. Sports interest us. Okay? So again, if you don't, you should have these written down. You need to write them down. They should be written down in your notebook. Okay? So let's get into some examples which I have for you guys. How to use indirect object pronouns. So I got 3 rules, and I finish off with a line which is very important to help you guys out. Number 1, the indirect object pronouns, IOP, is placed directly before the conjugated verb. Por ejemplo, for example, okay? El médico nos da una receta. Okay, so here's our object pronoun, indirect object pronoun to be specific, and we put it before the verb. The verb here, the action word, is gives. In English, we put it after. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Very important in Spanish. Okay, next one is very important as well. The IOP, the indirect object pronoun, is the indirect receiver of the verb. So, por ejemplo, for example, let's look at the example I have here. El médico le da una receta a su paciente. The doctor gives him the prescription. And it could be gives her. Now, el médico is a subject because he's doing the action, he's giving. El médico da, what does he give? The prescription. So that is the object. It's receiving the action of the verb. Okay? Now we're talking about indirectly receiving. So the doctor gives his receipt to him. So as we said up here, the object pronoun le goes before the conjugated verb. Now, a su paciente lets you know specifically who the doctor is giving to, whether le means him or le means her. Okay? And then 3 goes along towards the end of what I said with number 2. The IOPs lay and lays can be either masculine or feminine. So, again, por ejemplo, for example, le hablo por teléfono a ella. I talk on the phone to her. Now, a ella at the end lets you know that le means her. So I talk, okay, on the phone to her, okay? Le hablo por teléfono a él. I talk on the phone to him. I talk on the phone with him. A él lets you know le means him. And one thing I want you to keep in mind in identifying and knowing what indirect object pronoun to use, think of to whom or for whom. So, for example, the doctor gives us the prescription, gives it to whom, okay? Talks on the phone with whom. All right? Mr. Bobby Long, hope this was helpful. Take care. Have a good day.